Hey guys, Jack here. I want to talk about the third Ultraman to be part of the new generation heroes. And that Ultraman is named Ultraman X. Now, Ultraman X, like Ginga before it, and subsequent other Ultra series in the Heisei era, Ultraman X takes place in a different universe. This being the Spark Flare universe. I'll explain what that means as we go over the plot. So, the basic plot is that an Ultraman, this being Ultraman X, was chasing a monster known as Griza throughout space, and knocked him into the sun. Now, this destroyed X's original body, transforming him into Data. Hang on, I need to check something. Alright, that takes care of that. Weird. Now, this caused the Ultra Flares. This transformed the Spark Dolls in this universe into their true monster forms. And so, a special attack force named Geo was assembled to destroy the monsters. However, there's one among them, this being our human host for X, named Daichi, believes that there should be another way instead of outright killing him. He reminds me of Ultraman Cosmos, except instead of trying to heal monsters, he understands the fact that these monsters need to be fought and not just use defensive techniques and reserve attack power for aliens that are truly evil. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Cosmos. I plan to go over him sometime in the future. It's just his styles. I feel like X's style is better. Daichi wants to live peacefully, but he knows that in order to do that, he must return these kaiju, Japanese word for giant monster, to their Spark Doll form in order to research them and figure out how to do so. The problem was, before X came along, there really wasn't a way to do that. But when X came, they eventually were able to. Now, that basically pretty much goes over Daichi's character. So, let's get into X's transformation device. This being the X-Divisor. Now, it's pretty much basically a smartphone. Now, these are standard communication devices for Geo, and X inhabited this one. Now, the color are usually gray, but in this case, it is gold. And that is its closed form. Let me see if I can find a good... Here we go. Now, this is the X-Divisor in it when Daichi uses it to transform. Now, we'll get into what the X-Divisor does a little bit later. But for now, let's go back to looking over X. Dang it. So X has had a lot of crossovers with Ultraman Zero, Ultraman Max, Ultraman Ginga, Ultraman Victory, Ultraman Nexus, and in his movie, the Spark Flare universe version of Ultraman Taiga and the original Ultraman. So the transformation, Daichi holds out his X-Divisor and presses his hand on top. Then the X-Spark Doll... Wait, hang on. No, it's like this. The X-Spark Doll is formed. Daichi will grab it, set it on the X-Divisor. When the divisor says, Ultraman X, loading, then Daichi will raise it to the sky and yell, X! And then X will rise, crossing his arms like this, then rising them up. While you hear the X-Divisor saying, X united. Now let's look at Ultraman X's main body. As you can see, he is very technology-based. And people have commented that the little round things on that represent his ears kind of look like headphones. And I would have to agree. Now X has a lot of special attack. First is the Zeta-Doom Ray, or as it's known in Japan, the Zeta-Doom the Zeta-Doom Beam. But as it's known in Japan, the Zeta-Doom Kosen. Now, X Now, this involves leg motion, so I'm not going to really be able to show you guys this in here. But X will raise his right arm to the top, take his right leg, and spin it backwards while spinning his body around. I'm just reading off of this. Drawing a line up digital energy with his left foot. And then he'll turn around while his hands are in an X shape. Now, this has the ability not to destroy monsters like past Ultra Beams, but to return monsters who have been transformed by the Spark Flares into the Ultra Flares into their Spark Doll state. Now, X has 2 more attacks. The X Attacker. Basically, X will cone himself in fire and spread his arms and legs out to form an X shape. This is known as the... If I forgot to mention this, I'm going to mention it again, but in case I did, deal with it. And sorry for saying that, but yeah, sorry, say it again, because I think I forgot to mention it. It's going way too long. Woo! The attack is called Attacker X. Now, X has the Purify Wave. And similar to Ginga's and Victory's comfort abilities, it has the ability to soothe and heal. And it has the ability to soothe, calm, and heal. Now, X's power-up form is Exceeded X. As you can see, X literally becomes a rainbow. Now, should have gone over his cyber armors. Oops. Now, transformation-wise, to transform, Daichi uses the X-Lugger. Now, the X-Lugger is actually brought by the digital phantoms of his parents. Now, I don't remember the transformation, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. But the basic gist is, Daichi will summon an Exceeded X Spark Doll and place this on his X Divisor, similar to how he regularly transforms into X. The difference here being is that he will trace his finger on a colored line that's near the blade, then pull the trigger, allowing X to transform. Now, the X-Lugger, or X-Slugger, depending on how you pronounce it, is usually kept in X's forehead. Now, X has a lot of different attacks. Now, this form came to being because of Dark Thunder Energy, which is the result of the monster X was chasing prior to the series that caused the Ultra Flares. Now, this was used as a way to remove that Dark Thunder Energy, which has the ability to corrupt and evolve monsters, so X could then transform back using the Zeta Doom Kosen. Now, first is the Exceeded X-Slash, or X-Lash. Now, this is used to remove Dark Thunder Energy. The basis is Daichi will trace his hand on that scanner that I mentioned before 3 times. He'll twist the X-Lugger, he'll turn the X-Lugger upside down, and press a button near the hilt, with slightly, a little bit of a, I don't know what it is, but, well, it makes the blade extend. Now this will trap his target in a rainbow dimension and hold them in place. Then X will attack them. Slash. Now, this has many different effects, but its main effect is for removing Dark Thunder Energy. But it has changed. Now, let me see. Now, in episode 14, which involved the crossover between Ultraman Ginga, Ultraman Victory, and Ultraman X, the attack changed. Instead of purifying Dark Thunder energy, the main villain of that two-parter was not affected. He was purely evil. So it changed instead of purifying him to directly attack him. Next is the X-Seed Slash. Now, by sliding his finger on the rainbow panel, that's what it was, up 2 times, and then pulling the trigger, X can do a multiple slash attack. Basically, I don't really have anything to describe it with. Damn it. Next is the X-Seed Illusion. Now, Daichi will once again slide his finger on the rainbow panel 3 times, and then pull the trigger. This allows X to transform into 4 clones of himself. 1 red, 1 purple, 1 yellow, and 1 blue. And they will jump up and attack their target. Now the beam attack for X-Seed X is the X-Slugger shot. Now, Daichi will slide the panel down 3 times, placing the X-Slugger near his forehead, while X will replace the slugger on the hold it has on his forehead, and slide it down and will trace his finger down the panel once. He'll then fire a rain. After pulling the trigger, he'll fire a rainbow colored blast, similar to Ultra 7's Millennium Ray, which I went over in my Ultraman Ginga video. I'm trying to finish this before it freezes again. And shoot a rainbow colored beam. Now, according to the wiki here, and I quote, "This attack appears to completely destroy a monster instead of only turning them into spark dolls. And is only used," sorry guys, something right there, "used against enemies that cannot coexist with other species." So, what the wiki's saying here is that the X-Slugger shot is used for dealing with creatures that aren't affected by anything. They aren't scared, they aren't confused, they aren't rampaging because of self-defense. They're not doing it because it's in their nature. The X-Slugger shot is used for opponents that cannot and will not ever coexist with other species. So basically, beings of pure darkness or pure evil. What's this? Oh, it's just a behind-the-scenes gift. Duh. Now, I may have messed this up. Now, Ultraman X has cyber armors. What cyber armors are is they're made by cyber kaiju cards. Basically, different armors gain X different abilities. His first armor was the Gomorrah armor. Now, as you can see, the Gomorrah armor basically gives X chest armor, 2 shoulder armors, and 2 claw gauntlets. Every time. Excuse me guys, this may take a while. Now, this is actually based on a spark doll of Gomorrah that you could consider one of Daichi's best friends, who has been with him since childhood and was given to him by his father until his parents disappeared via the Ultra Flare. Now it also has the ability to form a digital shield. Now its finisher is the Gomorrah Oscillatory Wave. I do not know how to pronounce that. Basically, X charges energy into claw gauntlets and then unleashes them at his enemy. Next is the Elecking armor, which is based on Elecking. Now, as you can see here, the Elecking armor has a chest armor, a small shoulder pad on the left arm. This is mirror stuff, so work with me. On the right arm, there's a head that I honestly don't know why they included a head. It's just weird. And a cannon that can either function as an electric blaster or an electric whip. Hang on, guys. Sorry. It's getting really annoying. Now, its finisher is the Elecking Electric Shockwave. Basically, X will fire lightning from the lightning gauntlet on his arm. Next is the Beamstar armor. Now a little background. Now here's Beamstar. Now it gives X chest armor, 2 shoulder pads that kind of look like feathers or bird wings, and a claw-themed shield/gauntlet. Now, a little background. I don't know where Beamstar came from, but I do know he has a certain ability. Near his stomach is this, I'm not sure what you call it, but it has the ability to absorb attacks and send it back at its opponent. And the arm shield, as it's called, allows X to do the same. It also acts like a pile bunker and a boomerang. Neat! Its finisher is the Beamstar Spout. Now what this does is X first has to absorb the incoming attack of an enemy, reading off the wiki here. He then thrusts the heads of the shield into the ground and redirects the attack back at them. Now next is the Zeton armor. And as we can see here, it's once again chest armor with shoulder armor and 2 gauntlets. Now this is the corrupted Zeton armor, and this is actually part of the episode. You see, in the episode, an alien who wants revenge on Ultraman Max from his titular series, Ultraman Max. Yeah, weird, isn't it? Tricked Zeo into creating Zeton armor for X with hidden malware in it, so he took control of X. However, Daichi, using the Cyber Elecking card, was able to remove the malware, allowing X to have full control. Now, in this form, X has the Gauntlet Cannons, which are huge gauntlets that, like the name suggests, are capable as acting as cannons. Next is the Zeton Light Flare. Oh, here's one, the Zeton Shutter. Now in this form, X can create a diamond-shaped barrier that's capable of pulling off attacks. And similar to the Zeton species, the armor also gives X the ability to teleport. Now, Zed has 2 finishers. First is the Zeton Tornado. By using the Zeton Shutter, X can form a huge crystal shard and spin as he flies and spins, ramming into his opponent. Next is the Zeton Flaming Bullet. Now this finisher allows X to create a fireball that Zeton can actually use, that Zeton can also create, that the Zeton species can create, which ironically, they're known as space dinosaurs. Weird, isn't it? But that's not what here. And shoot it at his enemy. And this is the hybrid armor. Now this was only seen in X's season finale. Paused on me again, guys. Sorry. Once again, second video. I will be right back.